What's up everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going over all my thoughts on the Zelda Ocarina of Time remake that was announced recently in the recent Nintendo General Direct. And I'm really excited for the game, and this video is going to be split up into 3 separate parts, so stay tuned to figure out what those parts are going to be, and let's dive into it. So, I'm really excited. I have been predicting this remake for a while, if you have kept up with my channel. Most of my videos where I was talking about like general Nintendo news, I would always end up bringing this up. I feel like it's likely. Side note, I'm wearing my Link costume and I have my sword. The Master Sword is with me. Just saying, I'm excited. As you can tell, I am a Zelda fan. I love Zelda. So, this is, I think. So, I'm very excited. My excitement is very large, again. So, this, is exciting for me, and I am glad to see it, and I'm also kind of glad my predictions came true. I understand that we knew this was coming because of Nate the Hate, so, I'll talk about that in a second. But, I was predicting this thing before Nate the Hate predicted it. And obviously, once Nate the Hate says it's happening, it's happening. We know that's the case. So, I said before he said so. I think I was the right one here. I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good about myself because I said this would happen. But let's get into why Nate hates saying it situation and the announcement. So I knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. If you keep up with Nintendo, you know this guy named Nathan Hate. If he says something's happening, it's happening. He said this was happening, and he said it was this year, so it had to be in this direct. It would make it wouldn't make sense if it wasn't. So it was in this direct, and that's okay and everything, but you gotta understand that, it really ruined people's excitement a lot. Okay, so here's my reaction when I saw it. I was like, I know it's coming, It came, and I was like, I knew it, because everyone knew it. And then it was like, well, that's what I thought. Also, yes, it's officially announced. That was basically my emotions. But here's what probably would have happened if I had no clue it was coming. Now, it was playing, and then all of a sudden, you hear the whole thing at the beginning, that was it's in Hyrule, and then it was this one young boy is here, and it's oh, it's crazy? Yeah, I know. I would have been what in the world is going on? It's so good! Because it's if Nate the Hate didn't say it, it's so this could be happening, and I think, well, but that wasn't the case. I would have loved it if it was. So I go back and forth on whether I like Nate the Hate or not, because on one hand, Nintendo is terrible with giving us news. So the fact that he's here, it helps me with my channel. But besides my channel, I kind of don't like Nate the Hate just because he ruins everything, a lot, and it kind of sucks. And, it just sucks, because I would have been so much more excited if I knew this, wasn't happening. So, I'm just saying, I said that wrong. I'd be so much more excited if I didn't know this was happening beforehand. Point is, I'm not, the biggest fan of Nate the Hate. Channel-wise, it helps, but besides that, it kind of sucks. But also, the trailer was awesome, because it was, the one boy. The one chosen hero was born without a fairy. And then it showed him with the Triforce on his hand. That's awesome. And the way they opened that, awesome. I've never played the original Ocarina of Time. If you know me, I'm a very new-gen guy. That's a very old game. So I'm very excited to play this, legend of a game in, this remake. So, long story short, I'm really excited. So this was the first part of the video where I just talked about my excitement. Whoa. Moving on. Second section of the video is the art style. Yes, this gets its whole section in this video. Wanna know why? Because this is very important. So, a lot of people were saying, this is kind of a big deal. Because it's we basically know that it's gonna be the game, except more and better. So, the main, new thing that no one knows about is, what's the art style gonna be? And so we saw the clip of it, so we do know the art style. And what are my thoughts on it? Yay, and kind of disappointed, and thankful. So, first off, yay, it doesn't suck. It's not a bad thing. Thankful that it's not a chibi art style like The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, reimagining they did. I played that. Not a bad game. It's just I did not want that art style. I actually think the art style kind of hindered that game. But also I was kind of like, nay, like, because of the whole, it's not like Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. Now, my outfit is Link from Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. I got into Zelda from Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. My main experience with Zelda is Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. I love those games to death. They are something like, those are basically up there. Like, favorite games of all time. They are so high up there. I love those games. And since that's the only kind of Zelda I knew, I kind of wanted it to be in that style. Even though most people didn't. So I'm a little happy that most people are happy about the art style. And again, I am still happy about I'm not negative towards the art style. But I was a little disappointed because I heard people saying that, like, oh, it'll probably be a Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. But it wasn't in that style, which kind of sucks. Because, like, you gotta understand, from my perspective, like, the only Link I know is the Link from Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. He's the only guy I know. I'm wearing his outfit. So, like, that is my Link. Like, to me, the Link that is my guy is the one from Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. So, to see, like, this new guy, I'm like, But, again, most people are happy about this. Like, this is what most people wanted. Most people thought it'd be Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom Link, but most people wanted this. So, most people are happy about this. Just not me as much. Because I'm not. But, oh well. So, like, beggars can't be choosers. Like, I'm excited about the game, and I'm also not negative towards the art style. I'm okay with it, but I am a little disappointed that it's not Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. Which, like, I might get some flack, like, a little bit of backlash because of that. Because I know most people, like, do not want the Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. I know most people are tired of it, but you gotta understand, from my perspective, that's all I know. You know, I haven't played a game besides Link's Awakening, which, by the way, I said it was a good game. I didn't really like that game. So, just saying, like, from my perspective, Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild Link is, like, the only Link I know. Moving on. The third section of the video. What's the approach this remake will take? That's a good question. Let's figure it out. So, I'm gonna holster my weapon. Let's talk. So, first off, you gotta understand that this is a very, like, deep subject within the community. Because it's like, no one really can decide how much of remake they want this game to go. And it also, I feel like, matters if you've played the old game or not. If you played the old game, then, you know, that gives you the, like, opinion of, like, well, I want something new. Also gives you the opinion of, well, I want a faithful remake. Basically, first off, it's like, how do I want it to go, and how do I think it'll go? You know? So, I think it's gonna go, like, in the direction of, like, everything is changed. Like, this game was rebuilt from the ground up, but it's different. Like, you know, like, everything has changed, but it's the same, like, story and, like, same path, but, like, everything is it. And I think the new, like, the things that they will, like, add and change are going to be things like, from what I hear, the water temple in the old game was terrible. Like, no one liked it, and it was tedious. They're probably, like, I could see them changing it. Because, like, you know, like, I feel like they're not trying to copy the game. I feel like they're trying to really just, like, remake the game. And you can see that in the game not even being called a remake. It's just called Ocarina of Time. You know, like, I really feel like they want to redo this thing. So I feel like stuff like the water temple or some items, locations, will just change like that. Also, though, I feel like they will add stuff like structures, buildings, because, for example, Hyrule Field is very small. So they need to add to it to make it feel a lot more expansive. And they need to, if they make it bigger, then they gotta put stuff in it. So, like, buildings, like old ruins, collectibles, stuff like that, I feel like that stuff they will just add throughout the whole game. And side quests. I feel like they're really going to branch out side quests just to, like, make the game feel more full, because basically what they're doing is they're getting an old game that was small and didn't have too much, but they're making it big, so they gotta add to the stuff, like, you can do. So that's what, like, the situation I think they're going to do, and is it the situation I personally want? Kind of. So I like the idea of doing that for a remake. I love that idea for a remake. You know, like, when you're remaking a game, this is usually how I would want it. The only problem is, Zelda, for me, in general, is a little odd, because, like I said before, I love Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom. That's, like, the only Zelda I know. I tried Link's Awakening, and I didn't like it. So, you know, like, I love Breath of the Wild Tears Kingdom, because that, like, I want it to be as similar to that as possible. But Ocarina of Time is nothing like that, so it won't be. So, like, that's, like, my situation where it's, like, there's no world where they would completely change the game to make it like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Because, you know, they're remaking Ocarina of Time on those games. So, I would prefer if it was like those games in every way, but it won't be at all. And no one wants that, like, except me. But it's like, that's not even my biggest problem with it. It's the fact, like, for the same reason I didn't like Link's Awakening, it's the fact that I'm just, like, not a giant fan of the formula of the older Zelda games. Like, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, they're big RPGs. I love that style of game. You know, like, open world. Not like most Zelda games have, like, you know, 4 dungeons you gotta get an item from each dungeon. Something along those lines. So, they all have that formula. But the formula of, like, the gameplay, of, like, the layout of the games are vary. And older games just choose more of a, like, layout of your adventure is very different from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom in a way where I actually don't really like it. Now, I think I will love this game, mainly the fact that it is, like, brand new, you know? Like, Link's Awakening was basically the old game, except chibi art style. So, like, that is a big problem, because it literally just was the old game almost, except looked completely different. This game, like I said, it will be that, except added stuff, changed stuff, like, really feel like a new game. You know, like a new game almost based off that game. Except be that game. So, those are, like, my thoughts on, like, the existence of, like, the game itself. Moving on. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you loved it. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. I love hearing comments from the community. Subscriptions help out way more than you realize. That's literally the way I need to grow my channel. And likes make me feel good. So, if you do those things, I will be very happy. So, till next time, peace out, everyone.